Hello there, my fellow miners and crafters. GoodTimesWithScar here, and welcome back to the wonderful worlds of HermitCrafting. And we have really done it this time. We have created a chest monster beyond all chest monsters, one that is broken free of the confines of the standard Minecraft chest and has infiltrated itself into these mobile shulker boxes, giving it freedom to roam Scarlandia and to consume any Minecrafter and or cat in its wake of disorganization. So grab my hand, my friends. Together, we shall break these bonds of disorganization and also landscape our floating skyscrapers because, oh, it is time. I have heard you. I have heard the calls to finally landscape Scarlandia. Today is the day. So hit that like button and that will blast me apart from these shulker bonds. With your help, we have blasted away from the disorganization chest monsters and we're flying through Scarlandia, where I am so happy to announce that the CDF Creeper Farm is now complete. After all the work we've put into it, it is so amazing to see it finally complete, and I wanted to thank you guys for all the amazing inspiration and support on this project. It could never have been done without you guys and all of your supporting comments and all your ideas to make it even better. So thank you so much. And I'm absolutely loving it. We got the chopper on the top, we've got the cat, and of course the CDF on the side of the building. And as for the creeper farm, it is producing like mad. And a big thanks to Azuma and Cubfan. They came over here and of course fixed out some of the broken redstone in this area. So that was a huge help of them. Look at all this beautiful, wait, why is there just a random, oh, I was being deceived. I thought we had more than we did, but that's still a ton of gunpowder being produced in here. Now, I've never really AFK'd here more than maybe like 2 hours. So who knows what would happen with like an extensive AFK session. So that's absolutely amazing. But I gotta show you something real quickly before we get into today's episode of landscaping around the skyscrapers. And that is, I put on the new Minecraft resource pack. So within this resource pack is what will soon be the default Minecraft textures. And just looking at Sugarcane Tower, I can really see some of the differences. Of course, concrete has not been affected, but ice clearly has. And I'm loving the ice. I think within my own texture pack, I will take down the highlights a little bit. But other than that, I really like it. And I might add a little turquoise tint to the actual ice, similar to what I have existing. And I think that would be really cool. As for the wood, that is something I wanted to talk to you guys about, because within our normal Minecraft wood, it is very kind of neutral. It doesn't have a lot of definition, doesn't have a lot of crisscrossing lines and a lot of things that kind of make it busy. But with this brand new wood, the first thing I notice with it is it's very dimensional. It's got a lot of depth to it. And I find that to be a bit of a problem when actually building with this block. Wood should be a very default kind of neutral block that you use for your structural design, and then you add kind of amazing decorational elements, be it, you know, modern design or be it, you know, a rustic design. With this, it's just kind of a decorational block in a way. It's got way too much definition into it. I want a very neutral block when it comes to wood and things along those lines so that it can be used for many different styles. When I look at this particular, you know, wood, I don't see modern and I don't even see rustic or, you know, a medieval style. I see just kind of a polished block that doesn't really have any vibes of those two styles within it, whereas the other one could be used for numerous different styles. And I'm just not loving it by any means. One thing I look at it too is it looks like actual brick. I think it's far too much contrast within its lines, and it looks like brick. This could, for all I know, it could actually be red brick, but just brown, just bamboozling me. So I don't know. I would love to hear what you guys have to think when it comes to these new textures. So I'll put up a poll. I want to hear your thoughts up in the corner there. And then as for some of the other blocks, I think Iskall put it very well in his video that some of the blocks are very bubbly, if you will, very rounded. And will this actually lend it to better building, or will it make building a little less special in a way that we're not able to put as much of an artistic spin within the design, being it very kind of stylized? I almost find the blocks to be very stylized, whereas before they were very neutral. So on its own, I find the cobblestone to be appealing, but amongst other of its kind, not so much, and it's very strange. I think these are my first impressions of the texture pack, and I think they'll definitely change over time. So when I look at it, I see two things. Rounded, bubbly things, as Iskall put in his video very well. I highly encourage you to check it out. Then the second thing would be, say, like what is this? This isn't quartz, this is obsidian. So like obsidian, netherrack, and things along those lines. It's these kind of elongated lines. You'll see these a lot with like the glass or the obsidian and things along those lines, even the quartz, which is my absolute favorite block so far. So those are some of the things that I've noticed within the textures. Personally, I didn't have a problem with the original textures. And if you did, you can make a texture pack. So I'm kind of iffy still a little bit on my thoughts on them, but I think other than that, I think they'll be okay. I think they'll kind of grow on me, but personally, I think they need a lot more work before they're ready to go. But it is now time to put aside all of our texture talk, and it's time to put an actual landscape here in Scarlandia. We need to build it up to be absolutely beautiful, so our skyscrapers are planted within a land that they feel like they're a part of instead of floating above it. So we're going to build lawns, retaining walls, trees, and all sorts of amazing things that you'd find in a city of the future. So my friends, let me do a little bit of crafting, a little more organization, and then we'll be set and ready to go for some landscaping, which I am super excited about. And like that, we now have our shulker boxes somewhat organized, and we're going to need at least half of these boxes today to complete our landscaping on our test bed. So this particular landscape is a test to see how it looks and how we're going to incorporate it throughout the entire build. So what we do today might change a little here and there, but I need your guys' feedback along the way. So when you see something you think might be a little better, you let me know in the comments, all right? So I'm going to be monitoring those. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to grab ourselves a little dark and a little, wait, you're not what I was looking for. I thought I had this organized. A little bit of lime, hardened clay. There we go. But we do need this. There we go. So we have that. So we need the grass, and we need some of these guys because these are our kind of artificial grass that we're going to do. It's going to be amazing. And then down here, we're going to change it up a little bit if I find the right box. There we go. Grab this box, and then from this is our flower box. Actually, I don't remember any of these. I do know that brown one is my logs. You know, I came into this knowing like I know where everything is, but apparently not, but that's okay. There we go. So let's get busy. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to start down by the tunnel, and we're going to start with our lawn. Now, one of the lawns that I loved to do back in the day in like 2012 when I was doing my modern houses was to do like a lime green and then a dark green lawn. And I think that came out really nice. And I want to kind of mix it up a little bit in this particular lawn. One of the reasons is we need to maintain a light level throughout the build. So that's why I'm going to incorporate a little bit of wool above it. And I think that's going to be really cool. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to start on this block right about here. So if I jump onto that, come on now. Come on, there we go. And then let's see, we're going to do another one. And you guessed it. Let's see, that's 3. And then one more. There we go. So that is our lawn that runs parallel to our road. Okay. And then from there, we're going to build a giant retaining wall, trees and plants and flowers. It's going to be amazing. So if we do this design along here, I think could look really cool. Now, in the past, I've done, lawns made of just lime green, or I've also done some with 2 spaced lines. So instead of just 1 of each color, there would be 2 of each. And I've liked them both. I think my ultimate favorite is just plain lime green. And what I've been considering is the lawn is very manicured that runs along the road, but on the upper level where the skyscrapers sit and it's kind of a little bit more kind of rugged area, maybe we just do the plain lime green. I think could look really, really nice. And these are things that we're definitely going to play with. So next phase we're going to do is we're going to grab out some green wool. Now this might be a little controversial in terms of design, but we're going to see how this looks. So next thing I'm going to do is I just kind of want to run a little bit of this onto the actual grass here. And what this is going to allow us to do is place lights under them and not kind of really disrupt the design by putting torches. It kind of hides the lighting, but also gives it a little more definition in terms of design. And I think that could actually look pretty cool. Will be very kind of sparse. It's almost like the grass had been cut and there's a little bit of mulch on top of it. Does that sound right? I think it sounds amazing. So from here, let's cut this guy all the way out to there. And then, like I said, you just kind of mix it in a little bit, throw a block here or there, something along those lines I think could look really cool. Let's clear this away for a moment and grab out our cyan box, okay? So grab that out, grab out a little of you. And then from this point, what we're gonna do is we're gonna put a block like right there, boom, okay? Then we're going to space backwards, and if I can click that, there we go. And then cut that back by like 3, and then bam, once again, there we go. That's looking fantastic. And then we can run these guys up like so. And what we're doing is we're framing out a tree box. So trees will be planted in each one of these boxes, and they'll be parallel on each side. And these will be spaced out by about 8 blocks. So right here, I'm gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Is that 8? I think so. Anyway, it's good enough. And then of course, right here, we'll push this. Let me grab a hold of that. There we go. So then of course we repeat that process over there. And then in this interior piece, why don't we grab out a little bit of grass? So this is what I've been envisioning. I've been trying to make this video for like 3 hours now. I've been trying to like come up with these ideas, and I think they're solid. But of course, you are the judge, my friend. You are the judge of that. There we go. And bring this guy all the way across to there, and then run this like so. Oh man, I'm actually getting really inspired right now. Because I can kind of now see the ideas that I have in my head. And of course, there'll be one more wall up here. And what that's going to allow is add a lot more kind of depth to the entire build. So not everything is on the same plane. That's why I love to elevate builds. That's why the skyscrapers are elevated in the first place. It's why my roller coaster was elevated. It's why my last big modern house I designed, it was elevated above the ground so I could achieve this design by having a lot of elevation into the terrain to allow us to do all sorts of amazing things. And we'll make this 3 blocks in here. So in this little bed of grass, this is where we're going to plant flowers and bushes and different things along those lines, which I think could look absolutely magnificent. So from this point, what I'm going to do is I'm going to push this 2 blocks like that and then run this across there. What does that look like? I think I'm loving it. But I'm not 100% sure. I think I'm gonna go 2 blocks instead. There we go. So this is kind of the creative process, just kind of finding our way through this design. And I think we're definitely getting somewhere at this point. So bring that across there like that. There we go. That's right. Yes, perfect. And of course, this is a very kind of concrete-ish look, very kind of cold in terms of design with the cyan. But I think we'll be able to make up with that because we'll be able to put in lots of color within the greens and of course flowers and different things like that. So that's kind of like the hardscape of the design. And I think that's looking excellent. Okay, so let me play around with this just a little bit more. I want to see how high I can actually go without interfering with the doorway going into the skyscraper. So give me 1 second. Let me do a little testing. So we have a carpet dilemma. And the carpet dilemma is that the original carpet color that we had in the last clip, you remember it was a very dark green. That is the green color palette that's been in the game since at least 2011 for wool. And in late 2016, they changed the color palette for shulker boxes and of course wool. And I didn't realize mine was still in the old color palette in my texture pack. Now switching to default, as you can see, this changes everything. It's a lot more limey. It's a little bit more grass color, which I do like. So what do you guys like better? Do you like that darker kind of evergreen color that we had originally? Had a harsh contrast, whereas this is a little more subtle, blends a little more into the grass. I don't know. You guys are going to have to help me with this design because I can easily take this color and just put it in my texture pack, of course, because like I said, I'm in the default at the moment. So in the comments, go hashtag light or hashtag dark and let me know which one you liked better. So of course, this is the light and that would be the darker one in my texture pack. It's an interesting question. So definitely let me know what you guys think. And I think I've got my leaves. Yes. Okay. And then what is this? These are my logs. So I'll put the logs down. Wait, are those ferns? Oh, okay. I'm really trying, guys. I'm really trying to get organized. And then this, what is this? Okay, green wall. Anyway, Let's jump up here. And as I was talking about before, is we do these kind of manicured lawns. So the lime, the dark, the lime, the dark. And I was thinking, what if we did that along the edge, give it about 10 blocks, wrap it around the skyscrapers, and then everything kind of in between would be a very kind of lime color. So just do the lime and then intermix, you know, some plants, some trees, make it a little more rugged, because the theme of the city is a very green city, you know, a lot of plants, a lot of things along those lines, which I think could look really cool. So these are just the things that are buzzing around in my head, trying to come up with a good design for this particular build. And you know what? I think we're making progress. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to give you guys a little impression of this design. So this is what it'll look like up here. So if we just do this and then we do maybe a boundary or something that separates the grass from the kind of more rugged areas of the build. And I like that. I kind of think of it as almost the Apple campus in Cupertino, the brand new spaceship that landed in Cupertino. They have a very kind of organic landscape with a lot of orchards, different things along those lines. And I like that. I like that design a lot, because I think we could do, you know, a nice kind of manicured look around the streets and then quickly transition into, you know, a very organic landscape, which would look really cool. Or we could just forego the darker green stripe and just go full on kind of a natural landscape. So these are the questions we have. And like I said, this is just Minecraft. This is just trial and error. We're just being creative and seeing where it takes us. So we can change any of these things. These aren't something that's very difficult to change. There we go. So I'm loving that. And let's jump back down here and we'll clear that out a little bit. And let's grab a little bit of grass here. And I'm gonna grab a couple ferns. Unfortunately, I don't have the ferns that I want. And what I wanna do in here is I don't want this to be incredibly manicured, like it's just perfectly carved in. I just wanna kind of open it up a little bit, have the plants breathe a little bit inside here. There we go. And put that up like that. And then fill in just a couple ferns. Now, unfortunately, I don't have any big ferns. I want some big ferns. I don't got any big ferns. I don't even know where to even get them. Can you get big ferns in the jungles? I can only think of big ferns in the mega taigas. I don't know if you can. And I definitely don't think you can put bone meal on it. But I gotta try just real quick, just in case. Oh, you can. I completely forgot about that. Oh, okay, well that solves like all my problems. That solves all my problems. A little science experiment time with Scar. There we go. I'm loving it. So next phase, we need a tree. And I'm kind of feeling, I've got a particular feeling for a tree. All right, let's see where we can kind of take this. Let's grab this and let me grab a little bit of plants. There we go. And I want to do something a little similar to what we did in season 4 in terms of a pine, but much more bushy. So way more bushy leaves and way more, you know, kind of branches sticking out, less trunk showing, things along those lines. I think could look really, really cool. Just something different. Like I said, I don't want this to be perfectly manicured. I want this to have a little bit of an organic feel, kind of like I said, kind of like the Cupertino campus for Apple, that brand new place. Super, super beautiful. So that's kind of the inspiration a little bit as we go along here. We'll see where it takes us. So just adding a couple branches here and there. And yeah, so let me work on this tree a little bit, see where it takes us. And then from there, maybe we could time lapse this all out. So I'll see you in just a minute. And that is looking really cool. I think I like the original tree best. I think this one looks a little too much Christmas tree-ish. So I definitely want to kind of skinny it up a little bit, just clean it up on the sides a little bit so it's not as wispy as, of course, the first one, because I like this one best. And of course, the landscaping looks good. I think I'm going to put lights under here, and then I'm considering putting gray carpet on top of all of our pieces of cyan concrete going across here. I call this concrete because it looks kind of concrete in the context of the city. But of course, you know, it's just a hardened clay. So yeah, I think that's really good. I'm absolutely loving it. So as for these other areas, of course, this is Sugarcane Tower. We got a really cool kind of design, a walkway going up into it. It kind of has its own identity. That will have some cool actual manicured trees around the outside. As for this tower right here, I've got a couple ideas. I want to take some of that sugarcane in the back by the pool, and I want to incorporate that into its walkway going up. So we're gonna get to that soon, but before we do that, we've got to hit super fast build mode, and we've got to complete this design going all the way down, and of course, all the way down this side. So, hit it. end of super fast build mode, and as you can see, the trees are growing, the lawns are planted, and things are coming together, and I'm loving every minute of it. Now, of course, some of the kind of flower beds here need a little sprucing up. They need a couple more flowers and put down some more carpets, and some of the trees, like right there, they need just a little love. But other than that, this thing is looking fantastic. I'm loving the design. Now, you might notice there are some big chunks of missing landscape in front of the towers because, like I said earlier in the video, each of the towers will have its own unique, entrance with a few nice touches to it. So with the sugarcane tower here, I kind of want to work in the front with maybe a waterfall and some more kind of topiary trees. Now, of course, this is a residential street, so these are residential buildings along here. So that's what I'm trying to keep in mind a little bit when I'm working within the design. So of course, this is our waterfall. I want this to be not so much a waterfall, but I had this vision of this thing being kind of a frozen fountain. That's what I've kind of got in my mind a little bit. So we've got the classic frozen block here. There we go. To bring that across there like so. So I think that just adds, just a little extra detail within. And of course, I'm going to fill the surrounding area with water. Now, building this upwards just a little bit so we can go, let's go about, yeah, right about there is fine. And then let's take out a few of our light blue stained panes. And then we're just going to kind of attach these to the outside and just kind of play with it. Just kind of see where it kind of takes us in any one direction. So I think this is going to look really, really cool. Now, of course, it looks to me like these are not, no, they are. They're not connecting. Huh. Oh, yeah, this is a solid pane. That's interesting. Huh. I wonder if Optifine does it like this by default, but my texture pack voids it in some way because I'm currently not in my texture pack because of that carpet until I fix that. Huh, that's interesting. So this is just making one long piece of glass. I love it. I wish we could have, connected-less glass. That would be really cool. I didn't show you guys the glass in the new default texture pack because it's so hideous and I wanted to spare your guys' eyes. I look out for you. I do. So I'm loving this. Look at this thing. This looks fantastic. See, I'm always looking out for you guys. Didn't want to hurt your eyes with the horrible thing that is the new Minecraft default glass. It is horrible beyond anything that I anticipated in terms of what they do with the glass, but that's okay. Like I said, it's a work in progress. They're working through it. That looks fantastic. I'm loving that. Yeah, I really like that. It's unique. And of course, like I said, I'm going to put some water in here. So let's throw that off to the side for a moment. And one thing we're going to do is we're going to start running our staircase going upwards like that straight into the Sugar Baron's lair himself. And then over here, this is where we got to kind of decide because we do not have enough room to do our trees right here. So let's grab out just a little bit of cyan here and let me work on this side real quick and kind of lay it out. Protect me, cats. We've got a creeper in the area, inspecting the lawns, making sure everything is up to code. Look at him looking at our landscape. I feel like that creeper is pretty darn impressed with this because I'm loving it. Take a look at this beautiful design right here. One thing I was thinking about would be something fun to add would be maybe a column of sugarcane in this. Yeah, you stay over there in the middle of the road and add a column of sugarcane in the center here. I just thought it might be kind of cool, kind of tie into the actual reason that structure is there in the first place. We don't care about that creeper. We are on a mission together. So this is our next challenge. So I've been kind of building up the platform at the top, trying to figure out where the actual, I'm looking over the creeper, where the actual kind of lines of the structure are going to go. So I've decided we're going to do 2 columns on either side, right? So, ooh, hello blocks, get into my inventory. So then we'll build up a staircase going up this way, which leads us to have a really cool design in the front. So like I said, I want to have like a sugarcane design in the front of this area. And of course, we're going to need to come back and kind of clean up these areas, add some more of our cyan across here. All I can think about is concrete retaining walls, which is, for some reason, I don't want to kill that creeper, and I do not know why. Just, I like to live a little dangerously sometimes, and we're going to keep him alive. Yeah, that's right. That's right, we're gonna keep him alive for now. So what I wanna do now is start kind of building up these walkways, and then from there, I need to figure out exactly how we're going to work the sugarcane. And once we do that, I wanna talk about a cool little glitch that I kinda wish was still in Minecraft. Once again, the Cat Defense Force saves the day here in Skylandia, keeping Bob, the creeper building inspector, at bay. So, as you can see, we've got a lawn growing in the front, we got the retaining walls built up, and the walkway leading up. So, I love this little walkway, kind of leads on up to the top, and then straight into the building. And looking at the default texture of wood, you can really see what I was talking about earlier in the video. If you remember, shoot back there and just look at the wood, and then come back to here and see the difference between this. It's absolutely insane. I just like this little bit more flat, neutral design that can be used for many different applications. Anyway, so as you can see, I built up the lawn a little bit more here. I built these kind of retaining walls along here, kind of keeping with the same design that we've used before throughout the other areas. Now, one thing I'd like to point out is I've kind of considered another aspect of design for the upper level. So of course we've been building our lawn like this up on the top level here. But one thing I was thinking about is moving these down one block and then raising it up another block on the kind of the back of the skyscraper and use this as the ground material, similar to what we talked about earlier with the plants and the trees and stuff. And then having all of the manicured lawns be just slightly separated, especially by that one block elevation change, I think could be cool, but we'll see how it goes. We'll see. I think something like that is something we'll do on Twitch. We'll get together on Twitch. We'll experiment a little bit in terms of different designs that we can do with the actual ground cover, because there's so many different options when it comes to this particular style, and then trying to make sure we kind of maintain kind of a really simple minimalist design. But I think we've done pretty good at that at this point, and I think it is looking very nice. So we're gonna put this down, so that's 2 blocks, and then another 2 blocks, and then 1, and then let's just fill in the back here. So like I said, this piece right here is gonna be where we are gonna put our sugarcane kind of monument, if you will. I think it's gonna be pretty cool. One thing I wish was still in Minecraft was a glitch that as long as there was water present at one point when you placed down the sugarcane, and if you got rid of the water, the sugarcane was like, hey, I had the water, I'm totally good now. Now sugarcane's like super picky and has to have the water at all times, which is kind of annoying. I wish that glitch was still in Minecraft, because it lends itself to some really interesting design things that you could do. I'm trying to line this up appropriately with that. So in little areas that you wouldn't expect sugarcane to be growing, you could do it. Like it was fantastic. I used that glitch all of the times. And then when they took it out, I was super sad, Scar. So I think that looks good. Then we'll grow that up. And yeah, I think that's super solid. So let me finish this section. Let me get some water and some sugarcane. We can start building that. Just about done with this tower's landscaping. So let's jump up here and finish this out. So inside here, we're just gonna drop down our buckets there. Wait, did I not do this right? There we go, awesome. All right, so we'll put those guys aside, and where's my sugarcane? Oh, we got the chest right here. So we'll open this guy up, and then we'll just place these, and everything should work, right? This should all work perfectly. There we go, put those guys all the way across here, and this is just gonna give this an extra little bump of color in this particular spot. I'm not sure how high to put this, we'll see how it goes. Throw that back in there, grab that, cut that block out, and let's reveal that. What do you think, cats? Yeah, I like it. One thing I've noticed is we could potentially make it even a little bigger by pushing it out a little bit more. But you know what, for now, I like it. I like it a lot. And so one thing we can do here is just put maybe just a little bit of this right there. Nice. And then let's sneak down onto the other side, and we'll just put another couple little bushes right here. There we go. Put one there, and yeah, there we go. Nice. That's it. Perfect. I'm loving it. Yeah, that's what we needed. This area is slowly coming together. Look at this, with our buildings now having a bit of a backdrop. Oh, this is great. So next thing we need to do is do a little magic around here. We need to clean up all the little areas, put the torches down. I think I'm going to decrease the amount of carpets. That's one thing I'm going to do. And I've got a couple other little designs I want to surprise you guys with. So hang tight, because I'll be right back with some cool other designs. Welcome back, and looking at our amazing landscape from above just fills me full of inspiration for what we're going to do into the future with the actual kind of design and bringing it to all the skyscrapers along the way. So let's land here. And as you can see, we've got a park bench along the road. I'm loving it. Now I'm trying to make a garbage can design, and maybe you can help me. See if you can come up with a really cool garbage can design. send it to me on Twitter, because I've tried like a wool block of the light green variety with like a trapdoor on top of it, things like that. I'm kind of iffy on it, so definitely let me know if you guys have a better design. Something I'm trying here is a little bit of carpet over the concrete. The reason being is that we can hide the lighting under it. So ideally, I'd like the powdered concrete, but functionally this works and still looks fairly okay. So I think that's a decent compromise in the actual style. One issue that I'm having is lining up these particular park benches with ones on the other side, and not to kind of overwhelm the area. See, there's places where it's blank because the light posts are there. So some things might change here or there, just trying to line things up a little bit better. Like right here, it's not enough room to put another tree right here, but it's a little bigger than all the others because all the little planters are about 8 blocks. And that's almost, wow, I'm not sure how that big that is, but it'd be really nice to be able to fit another tree in there. That's actually way bigger than I thought. Yeah, so like I said, there's some trial and error. We've got our frozen fountain here. I think that's looking really cool. I love the little detail under it. Just little details like that. Make something that catches the eye in the water. I think that looks really cool. And of course, our little walkway leading up to the area. And of course, I think this is a very residential feel to this. This almost feels like maybe like in Portland with the water district. It just kind of has that vibe a little bit to it. I think it came out really, really cool. And of course, we've got our sugarcane growing up there. I think that's really cool. We got to do the interior to these builds. Like we got to have a little something in it for even the ones that, what's going on here? This is slightly off. Oh, Scar mistake. Okay, I'll fix that. Don't worry. We're just like 1 block off on every one of those. It's okay. It still looks cool, right? Please tell me it does. So we've got that looking really cool. And yeah, I'm just really pleased with this. This is really nice. This gets me really excited about the future. And I'm so sorry this has taken so long to get the landscaping installed and not have these things floating in the air. But like I said, on Twitch, we're gonna get crazy today. So make sure you follow me on Twitch and on Twitter. What in the world? I've fallen in a hole. I don't have my hole falling into counter yet on Twitch, but I do need it. Why do I seem to always fall in holes? Why is there even a block missing right there? And this cat is just like, why do you do that? I don't know, cat. It's a problem. Don't judge me. Okay, here we go. We gotta look at this one more time from the ceiling. Whoa. Wow. Falling in that hole really threw me off. I'm like throwing myself with rockets. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching today, and I really hope you enjoyed and maybe were inspired for your own modern landscaping designs and your own modern builds. And if you believe the video deserved a rating, that would be much appreciated. And until next time, this has been Good Times with Scar, and I always really appreciate you guys taking the time to watch my videos, and we'll see you later. Don't forget to subscribe, because you may just become Scar for life.